All right, we're trying to be merry and bright without breaking the bank, which is why local financial professional Scott Braddock from Scott Braddock Financial is here with recommendations for all of us to keep our spending in check. Okay, so Scott, first and foremost, let's just kind of put into context what holiday spending looks like overall.
Right. So a lot of folks are gearing up towards this holiday season, and they're trying to figure out how much money they're going to spend in all, and how much they plan to spend on each individual, and then also what exactly are they going to be buying for these folks. So it's a lot of pressure that comes with all of this factoring, and there's some really good ways to prepare yourself to handle this in a very financially savvy way.
All right, so folks, if you don't know this, let me just give you some money numbers. So consumers are projected to spend more this holiday season than last year, with sales totaling nearly $1.3 trillion. Okay, so all right, Scott, let's talk about how do we buy those gifts, be in the Christmas spirit without breaking our budget?
Absolutely. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we don't spend money that we're going to need for ourselves. And the only way that we get there is if we take time and we're thoughtful about the money that we have coming in at this time and the money that has to go out for our necessities, our bills, as an example. I suggest creating a map, if you will, of exactly the amount of money that you have to spend, and then really create a list of all the folks that you anticipate buying for, and then come up with some really good ideas of what you think are going to be gifts that they're actually going to want and need. And that will avoid you spending money on gifts that are just going to end up in the back of the closet and maybe end up in a future yard sale.
All right, let's talk about this, because there are plenty of gifts that we use and consume and this, that, and the other. And then there are gifts that kind of will help us for our lifetime. So I'm talking about like a 529 or something like that. So let's kind of talk about how easy is it to do that for those that we love?
Well, as a financial advisor, I love these type of gifts because it's really the gift that keeps on giving. These 529 plans are just wonderful for our children. And if you have grandchildren or some folks great grandchildren, these are just the type of gifts that, really truly say, I love you and I care about your future. So I'm going to set money aside that you can use for higher education, and it's tax-free. There's those tax benefits, and what a lot of folks don't realize is those can be passed on. If a child or a grandchild decides not to go to school and actually make use of those funds, they can be transferred to another child. And then at the end, if there's still a 529 plan left after all the children have either gone to school and not used all the money, or skipped out on school, this money can be converted to a Roth. So again, this is a gift for a lifetime, Tanya, just as you mentioned.
All right, and I think as a gift giver myself, because I love to give gifts, someone's going to be like, okay, well, there's not going to be anything to open. Well, maybe you get them a book or something like that that you guys can read together, or that they can read on their own, and it's got the little thing in there that says the 529. They'll eventually appreciate it, and they'll have something right to open. All right, let's move on to this. What do we do if we get carried away with our spending?
Well, if we get carried away with our spending, what that means to me is you probably put too much money on your credit cards. We want to actually focus on paying down your debt. I have two quick ideas here to do just that. We have the snowball effect. That's where you're going to take your debt from smallest to largest. You pay off the smallest one first, you go to the next one, and it builds a snowball effect. The last one is going to be an avalanche approach, and it's similar, but we're going to look at interest rates instead. And here what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the highest interest rate credit card, pay that one off first. That's going to financially impact your situation in a very positive way, and then you continue on to the next one, and you create an avalanche, if you will, paying down debt.
All right, I like it. Snowball
That's
and
a gift
avalanche.
to yourself.
Yeah, give to yourself. All right, thank you, Scott. We appreciate that. And that means Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all the new year, and possibly in a better financial place than you were before.